Yeah, sure.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Thandi and
I'm the husband.
I'm here with my husband. So today, my husband's called, do you introduce yourself?
I'm Thandi's husband.
Okay, so it's Thandi and Thandi's husband. Yes. So Thandi and Thandi's husband are here to just share a bit of information with Zimbabweans who are in the diaspora. Perhaps you coming back home for the holidays, or perhaps you are coming back home to settle, or thinking of coming back home to settle. So we thought, why not just share some of the information that we found really useful sitting back at home. And I've had my amazing husband to guide me through the ropes, and you might not have someone like that to just, show the ropes and help you find your feet. So we thought this video would be very helpful and useful in your planning and in whatever you're going to be doing when you get back home. So
congratulations, it's December and you probably find yourself on a plane back home or on a bus back home. And yeah, it's really good for you to be back home, but here's probably how it's going to pan out. When you get to the airport, the first thing you're going to do is try to be connected. So if you're not going to have your old SIM card, you're going to buy a new SIM card. And the shocker is data on this side of the world is super expensive. The amount of money people pay for data and the service they get, it's unlike anything from where you're coming from. So be ready for that. Data is going to be super expensive.
Yeah, and I think while we're just on that, the first thing you'll probably notice when you get to the ZIM airport, or like in any ZIM airport really, to be honest, especially Harai and Bulawayo, is that the Wi-Fi does not work.
There's no Wi-Fi.
The Wi-Fi seldom works. And if it works, then good for you, but it won't work for that long. So try to ensure that you actually plan with your family members, that your family members know way ahead of time what your itinerary looks like. So this may include sending them your air ticket, like the itinerary, so that they know exactly what time to get you. If there's any delays, try by all means to communicate it before taking your last flight to Zimbabwe. So if you're taking Emirates, then make sure before you leave Dubai, you tell people. If you're taking SA Air, before you leave Joburg, tell people that you're about to leave for Joburg, you're about to leave for Zimbabwe, and you'll be home in about 2 hours, so that people know if there's a delay, or if you're like on time, you're scheduled to arrive on time as you should. Because chances are when you get here, because there's no Wi-Fi in the airport, you will struggle to locate your family. And you don't want to be wondering, is my family here? Is my family not here yet? So you need to let people know ahead of time before you actually take your last connecting flight to Zimbabwe.
I think this is also coming from people, us, who have had the privilege of hosting a lot of family members and friends who came before our wedding in September. So yeah, we have seen them go through a lot of this. So that's
it's a lot of acclimatizing to do, but it's worth it. It's certainly worth it.
So when you get home, the obvious thing is the transport bit. How do you get home? If you have your family, good for you. They're probably going to take you home. Spoilers ahead, there's going to be bumpy roads if there's anything left at all. But if you then choose to find your own way, good luck, because taxis here are freaking expensive as always. So that's one thing to note. Those of you who are used to Uber, on this side of the world with what's called InDrive, that's the cheapest really.
Yeah.
It's actually cheaper than the standard taxis we've come to know and love. So be ready to, use InDrive to get you to wherever you need to. But sooner or later you realize it's not really sustainable to use InDrive. You might find yourself spending more than the money you'll spend at a place you're trying to get to. So for example, my wife wanted to go for breakfast one day when she came back, and the only way to get there was to get a taxi, and that that InDrive was going to cost her like $10 one way. She wanted to go buy $4 breakfast. So there she was going to spend $24 and only spend $4 on the food. So instead, she called free transport. Hi, I'm free transport. And that's how she got saved. So it's good for you to have family and friends on speed dial to help you move around and navigate, because the ride does also get really crazy. If you're driving here and you've been here in the past 5 years, there's new one-ways in town, so you might find yourself driving against traffic. So it's really important that you you stay up to date with what's going on.
The transport thing also, I think you should not forget to mention the other options that people have. There's combis and there's also car hire. If you do decide to get a rental car, you need to make sure you do your research before coming down here. The first thing you probably want to do is actually go onto Facebook and do as much research as you can. You will typically find that rental companies have different policies. Some give you a daily mileage limit of 150 kilometers, some give you 200, and then start charging in excess of whatever you pay for.
75 cents.
75 could be anything between 50 cents and 75 cents per day for excess mileage. So if you're going to rent a car, your first 10 days generally are more expensive, and then the rate typically goes down as you rent the car for longer periods of time. So do your research. And make sure you have the money set aside. They typically ask for a deposit as well, which is probably $200 or $300
depending on the car.
For the car, or it could be even $60 or $100. It just depends on the make and the model of the car. So have that in mind. If you're not able to take a rental car, and if you don't have friends who are open to sharing their car with you, which honestly I don't know how I feel about taking someone's car.
Well, if you come in with your driving skills and you think you can weather the storms, you're probably going to find in the streets of
But then if you're visiting and then you ask for someone's car,
you've really got to be familiar.
You need to be very careful. You need to be careful. If you can't get a rental car and there's no spare car at home, and you don't have friends, or you don't have friends who want to be sharing their car with you, you still have public transport. And with the public transport, there's two options. There's Zupco buses, which I can't speak much about because, to be honest, I'd be lying if I did. And there's combis, which again, so with combis, they typically charge, it depends on the distance you're going or you're traveling. It ranges anything between 50 cents
$1.50 or $2
and $2, depending on the route and the time of the day and the distance. So
if it's raining, it's not.
and if it's raining, if it's not, so you need to be open to using public transport. If you don't have the desire to use public transport, then make sure you've got friends who are willing to drive you around.
Wow.
Just make sure. No, not him though. Not him in particular though. Not him in particular, because if you try it, I will kill you. But anyway, that's that on transport. The Zupco bus, that one is just something you want to stay away from.
Just don't do it.
Just stay away from it.
It's not safe.
So
in all of this, there's the whole currency situation. So we are still in the multi-currency phase, and there's the ZWL, there's the USD, all that stuff. But whatever happens, whatever you do, make sure you don't swipe your local bank card. You're better off sending yourself money.
Your local?
Oh, from wherever you're coming from, your international bank card, that is, Don't swipe with it here, in a supermarket, in a liquor store, anyway, don't do it. You're better off sending yourself money via World Remit or some remittance platform than cashing out the money here and paying in cash. Don't use your card, whatever happens. I've had friends from SA who came through here and they swiped their cards, the card declined, but the money was taken from their account, so investing all of there becomes such a drag. So by all means, just be ready to have a lot of cash in hand. Also, you'll find that the local ZIM dollar is not very valuable. The smallest one the biggest one is $100, and the rate is around 6,500 for 1 USD. So you can see how cumbersome it then becomes if you need to buy something for $10 and you need to have $64,000 or for $100 notes. So that's not going to work. So be on the lookout for those things. Have friends who have got local bank accounts who can help you swipe when you need to, and you give them USD cash. You just have to talk to them. But basically, keep those cards in your wallet. Don't swipe them anyway if you don't want any trouble. When you get home, you're gonna find yourself in a home with no power and water, most likely. My wife knows all about that.
So now you've weathered the storm, you've arrived, you're now finally at home.
Welcome back.
You're now in your parents' house or in your fiance's house or whoever's house. Two things. You need to ascertain whether the water coming from the tap is drinkable or not. Because if it's not drinkable and you start drinking it and it's such a cup of water, you will get sick. You will get so sick. You will need to take yourself to the hospital.
What do you mean by drinkable?
Is it safe to drink? Because in
That's
Harare,
for
okay, yeah, like if no, you need to find out first. Because if your friend or your home, if there's no like water that's safe to drink, then you just don't. You're better off not drinking the water. Don't trust them. Even when they say, no, we drink it. Don't listen. Don't listen. Because let me tell you one thing. Like they have a tolerance for that. They have like your bodies are acclimatized to that type of water. Your body, you drink it once.
So
you get
every time
diarrhea.
you tell them it's not a good idea to go around people's houses
And
ask
drink
for water.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
if you're
it's
going to
not.
go to someone's house and you ask for water, yeah, just make sure it's really safe to drink because you don't want to get sick over the holidays.
Yeah.
Alternatively, just walk around with your own water to drink. You can buy bottled water. You can have you can fetch water from a friend's house who has a borehole. That's for drinking water. Now the second thing is they might not have a borehole, and city council water might not also be there. Like you will find yourself sticky and hot and sweaty and you want to take a bath and you can't take a bath because what? City council has no water. It's not supplying water. So you essentially, you're home, you're excited to be home, you're dirty, you're sweaty, but you can't bath. Enter bucket system. Oh, if you, man, like bucket system. You've been to boarding school, you've been to boarding, you know.
This really sounds very personal.
No, but
It's
no,
like you
I never did bucket
tell
system on
us.
my day. Like my first day, I didn't do bucket system. No, don't think you know
So what
that.
happened?
No, I did bucket system later on in the day because like the borehole at home, what it would do is we didn't have a tank. So like when there's electricity, you've got water. When there's no electricity, there's no water. So essentially, you need to do bucket system if you don't wake up early enough to bucket before the sun comes. So that's the one thing I need you guys to know. Like if you're gonna come home, make sure that so the bathing part, if you can't do bucket system, then like you need to make a plan to go to a house where there's a bowl and stay there because that one you can't flee. It's everywhere now. When the water goes, cuts off on Monday, when it cuts off.
But the truth is, probably everyone at some point in their lives
Have done bucket system. Yeah, I'm just saying,
Maybe
like
just
you're
not
coming
for a
from a
long time.
situation, you're coming from a country where things are normal and you bath twice a day. Let me tell you, bathing twice a day in ZIM with no borehole, you dream me. You'll be doing bucket system twice a day. that was just a nightmare. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare, guys. Like it's such a personal story because like I understand, like you said, it's a personal story. Honestly, like. Bucket system, guys, and that's the thing. When you finally get out of your bathroom, right, and you've done bucket system, two things. If you use council water, then your skin and council water might not be like good friends. So what's going to start happening is your skin's going to start drying and chapping. Carry all your dry skin essentials. If you're coming to Zimbabwe for the holiday, especially, hey, carry your dry skin essentials because your skin's going to dry out. If you use bowl water again, that water has salt, so you can just carry your bath. Your dry skin essentials.
I think I can give them a life hack. Just go stay at an Airbnb.
No, but even if you go to an Airbnb
They'll probably make sure.
and they have like a borehole water, like the thing now you have to remember about
unless your
borehole
Airbnb
water.
is some famous hotel in Harare that offered its patrons a bucket of hot water. We won't say them by name, but yeah.
No, but like to be honest,
That's
like
how sketchy it gets.
honestly speaking, just carry your dry skin essentials for your bath because you probably will need it. If not, then just I hope the water and your skin are good friends because and then the electricity bit, which I just hinted on. So electricity.
I hope that there isn't cut out while we're recording this with all this lighting.
Oh yeah. So number one, electricity cut off. There's no schedule. And it's not a fault, it's called load shedding. So power just cuts off. If you're in touch with people from home, they already tell you like once in a while.
We
like,
can't really tell people from SA because they probably know.
Yeah, if you come from anywhere else out of Africa, let me tell you, there's something called load shedding in Africa, in Zimbabwe. And it does not have a schedule, like you'll just wake up.
No, actually,
and then,
there is a schedule. You'll just figure out, after 3 days of having no electricity for the whole day, You probably figure, oh, it's
the schedule is
16 hours.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there's no schedule. You could be in the middle of anything and then power just cuts off.
Yeah.
So that's the worst thing. So carry all your power banks, carry all your rechargeable batteries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Make sure you have your backup power in place for your phone, and also carry 2, because chances are you're going to lose the other one, or you might, like someone might steal it, or you might lose it while you're having a good time.
Why does it sound like a true story?
No, because like
I used to have a power bank.
I came with 2. I don't have one anymore. So that's it. Water and power supplies. Quickly, that actually it will probably tie in with the point on properties if you're going to be settling in ZIM, which we will talk about in a few minutes. So now you've done your bucket system. You're coming in from wherever you're coming in.
To groove, yeah?
You're coming in, you're freshened up, you've done bucket system, you're feeling embarrassed like, how can I do bucket system? But guess what? You've done it, you're looking fresh, you're looking nice, you're smelling good. Nobody's gonna know.
How will they know?
Nobody's gonna know. Like, who's gonna know? Like, the bucket system, nobody's gonna know.
I ain't
You never, don't lie. I used to look so good. You could never. Yeah, I don't do bucket system anymore, guys. I don't do it anymore, but like I did it at one point. Anyway, now you've done your bucket system and you're done. Your clothes, luckily, you've managed to get those like pressed before power cut off. You're now looking for something to do, or you're used to, I'm gonna treat myself. I'm just gonna take myself out for breakfast, or I typically tend to take myself out for lunch. I take myself out for breakfast.
Why does that sound like you?
Because that's exactly how I was. So I know I'm speaking to a person who's like me, who understands the value of treating yourself. Let me tell you one thing. So now you had the transportation issue. That one's very important because it's going to determine which social activities you actually do. If you don't have a car, you might find yourself being friends with someone you're not friends with because you need transport. If you don't have a friend,
so why did you be friends with?
Free transport, bro. Like, it's clear.
Wow.
Anyway, so after
whole life is a lie, huh?
So if you don't have like free transport, or if you don't have an extra car at home for you to use, you now have to, like, before you go out anytime, you need to think of how you're gonna get back home and go there. So that's in drive. So whatever you're doing, if you're taking taxis, it's plus $20 or plus $30 for transportation. So if you're gonna go out, now this is the thing. There's quite a couple of things to do back at home. There's a lot of things to do. There's a lot of things to do.
A lot of places came out as well.
And those lots of places cost a lot of money. So if you decide to go out and treat yourself for breakfast, you go out to treat yourself for a $10 breakfast, essentially you're going to have to spend $30 because that's what you need to do if you're going to spend your $10 breakfast. And then $4 for coffee. So if you're taking $15 breakfast, then you need to spend $7 to go to the place, or $10 to go to the place and $10 back. You're going to spend about $35 on just breakfast. If you're gonna go and hang out with your friends, you guys are gonna go out for drinks, you need to factor in $20 or $30 for transport to go to that place, and then factor in your drinks and your canapes and stuff like that, whatever you're doing really. So typically when you go out for a social event, you're looking at least $35. Am I lying?
35.
At the very least.
$50.
No, at the very least.
Okay.
Yeah, at the very least, you're looking at about $35. $40. So anything between
Depending
35.
on what you're doing.
Depending on what you're doing.
You're going
anything.
to ensure that thing just goes up.
Yeah. So anything at the very least $35. So whatever you do, just make sure you have money to go back home. And yeah. So on the social activities as well, I know if you're a girl, you probably like to get yourself looking good, you want to get your hair done, which I think considerably is more affordable in ZIM. I won't lie, that's been like the best thing. For your hair, you're typically looking at, for doing knotless braids where they're like the curls and stuff, you're just doing plain knotless braids. It depends on where you're going to get your hair done. If this person is going to come to your house and they're good, anything between $20 and $40. If for the plaiting. If you're gonna go to a nice place, then it's anything between $40 and $70.
I think the place is not nice.
Huh? If the place is not nice, let me tell you, the place is not nice, you can spend $20 on your hair and like, you'll be good to go. But the thing is, you won't last a day in that place. Like, I tried to. Don't be like me.
How many times?
I tried it twice.
Just twice?
Yeah.
That's not true.
I tried it twice because I went there once, and then she came home, and then I went there again, and that was it. Mama is rushing me out. I don't understand why he's doing this to me. Because we're not fighting, we're fighting.
No, we're just being honest.
Yeah, I'm being honest. In the spirit of honesty, he did say I shouldn't do it, but then I was saving money, so yeah, that's what I did. So honestly, your hair is not very expensive. Well, it depends. I think if you're coming from anywhere out of Africa, getting your hair done in Africa, getting your hair done in home, like in ZIM at home, is considerably way cheaper. So that's the thing. Your nails, you're looking at about $20 for your nails, and then for your toenails, maybe $10, $15, $20. So for your nails, it's anything between $20 to $40. If you're doing like your toenails and your fingernails and like pedicures, then it's anything between $45 and $60 for the whole thing, or $70. It depends on where you're going. If you're gonna go to Tammy Taylor's, then maybe even $100. I don't know. Facials and stuff like that. To be honest, you're looking at between $50 and $100. So yeah, that's the thing. You just need to know if you're like a pamper me type of girl.
Pro tip though, if you're just visiting, try to keep it together. Don't
experiment. Like
don't
go to places that you can't like vouch for. You might ask your friends to recommend places, because if you choose places for yourself, you're gonna go to Zara Aesthetics and your face is gonna get burnt. So yeah, that's it. Anyway, so now you've done the social activities, you've gone out with your friends, you've done bucket system, you've gone out with your friends to just link up, catch up, high school reunion type of vibe. Next thing, you get back home and food's been cooked, but then now you're starting to feel like, okay, you know what, let me just help with the groceries at home. Enter supermarket scene. That's just the worst. I don't even think you stress the currency points enough.
Well, I think there's some things that you'd rather just see for yourself.
Yeah.
No spoilers.
So in the spirit of spoiling things, because I'm your girl, there's only one shop I know in Zimbabwe. No, in Harare. I know 2 shops in Harare that sell stuff in US, that like price their stuff on the shelf in US dollars. There's Bon Marché Brook, and then there's Spa at Nidus, formerly at Nidus Spa. So with these 2 supermarkets, they actually put the pricing on the shelf
in US
dollars. So it's easy for you to budget your money and see, okay, I've got this amount of money, can I actually buy these groceries? If you're going to go to any other place, Pick n Pay Highland Park, if you're going to go to Bon Marché Chisipiti, if you're going to go to Pick n Pay Border, if you're going to go to okay, supermarket, any other place, let me tell you, you're gonna get a shock of your life when you get to the till, because as you get into the store, there's a rate that you see and it's currently at 6,800 or something like that.
Yeah.
But when you actually go into the store, what you find is bacon is 22,400. ZWL.
So
Jesus, 122,000?
This way it pays to have me in your corner, because I am a math whiz. I can run this crisis numbers in my head.
Yeah, most of us aren't that like math whizzy, so yeah. So now what you typically find is you've bought all your stuff.
But you're so lucky, bro. I mean,
I don't know.
You have me.
Maybe
you're welcome. Really, it's my pleasure.
Anyway, thank you. Yeah. So you bought all your groceries. You've picked up your groceries. You're typically used to, you fill your grocery cart or your trolley, and you spend let's say $80 or $100. And you're like, wow. Anything between $50 and $100, you're like, wow, I really did buy a lot of things. Welcome to Zimbabwe. In Zimbabwe, $50 buys you 2 plastic bags of things. Like, it doesn't matter. Like,
not the big ones.
The small ones, yeah. It's like you don't get that much. You don't get that much. And the worst thing, when you then they ask you, okay, so how would you like to pay? And you're like, I US dollars. They're like, okay. And they give you your balance, and your actual total will be so shocking to you, because you'll be like, how are these 10 things $35? How are these 15 things $60? Like,
$8 each, bro.
Like, it makes no sense. And to be honest, if you don't know what's going on, it'll be so puzzling. I remember when we went with mom.
Yeah.
Mom was so shocked. She's like, all these things. She
$80.
just said these things only for $80. I'm like,
yeah, I think
we
got
didn't.
like
We got a few
plastic.
Exactly. Like we weren't shocked because that's exactly how it is
Yeah.
in Zim. But for them,
So,
like, yeah.
If you're passing by, then that's good. But if you're back home, Batman begins really.
Yeah, even if you're visiting, because typically you have like a holiday fund of, oh, okay, I'm gonna spend this much when I'm going to, like, when I'm in Zim. During my stay in Zim, I'm gonna spend this much. What you will find is whatever budget you have for groceries, just double it because it's not gonna be enough.
Triple it.
Triple it, yeah. Triple it, but it's just not gonna be enough. Like here, everything was so expensive. So expensive. So my pro tip is when you buy stuff from the supermarket, just have your budget a little bit flexible. Like if you're going to cap it at $80, then just know perhaps you might end up spending $100.
Yeah.
If not, be open to leaving things in your trolley because chances are that's gonna happen.
Well, it's a common sighting where people make very hard decisions at the till.
Yeah.
You always find a trolley there.
Sadly,
full of
other
things,
things that have been left.
Luxuries.
Yeah. So that's for the groceries bit. And then if you're looking for things you can't find in the grocery store, what you typically need to do is go onto Facebook Market. So here we don't have like
Amazon,
eBay and Amazon and Taobao, things that we don't have that here. So if you want to do some online shopping, but you typically don't have the delivery made to your house because the delivery made to your house is so expensive. It's more expensive than the actual thing you're buying. So you go onto Facebook Market and then you look at
doesn't
the
even
thing.
have a Facebook account.
I think you have a Facebook account, even if it's like
Maybe
really
you
old.
don't.
Even if it's really old, you can just go back and
Maybe
reactivate
Facebook
it.
is a Satanist movement and your pastor told
Anyway, if you don't have it, then okay, make a plan. I don't know. That's just for people who have it. If you go to your Facebook, go onto Facebook Market, search for whatever you're looking for, see where it is, ask the people, hi, is this still there? Is this available? Is this there? Is it
and
there?
they'll probably reply like 3 days later.
It's not if you're
After
lucky.
you
Yeah. If you're lucky and they respond on time, then you plan on where to meet up or where to go pick this thing up and then you go buy it. If you can't find it on Facebook Market, if you can't find it in a grocery store, you now need to go to a group of like to a Facebook group called She's Selling It. Like
Okay, that's if you're a girl.
there's men on She's Selling It. Let me
Really?
tell you, yeah. There's men on She's. You don't need
Those
to go.
bros need to be flagged.
You need to go on a group called She's Selling It and ask. You need to make a post.
Buy
Hi,
them, Zambia.
is anyone? Hi, is anyone selling? Get it.
Yeah.
My mom was so intrigued. She's selling it. She's like, why don't you just ask when she's selling it? I'm like, you, how do you know about she's selling it? You know, like, what do you know about it? So she's selling it is so common. It's like a Facebook marketplace, but it's a group where people just look for things and then, yeah. Typically, I think, yeah. And then the last one, I think, on like the shopping thing, I think you better like explain it better.
Yeah.
The whole move.
So guys, there's no departmental stores like you typically would want. Your Edgar is not really Edgar's, as you've come to know. Truworths is not really Truworths.
Well, those Edgars and Truworths still exist.
They're there, but they're
But
not
there's no more
really-
barbers and greater minds.
Yeah.
If you went Harare in like early 2000s, that's not there anymore.
It's not there anymore. So most of these big departmental stores have been converted to shopping malls. Shopping malls are just like bazaars or, you know, very modernized iterations of flea markets. You know, indoors. So that's pretty much the situation. And there's something called the Rana effect, where you've got people buying things from bulk from outside the country and selling them at a bargain price, you know. So most people you find selling stuff in your little uptown shop are probably buying stuff from the Rana. So runners are probably selling things for like a very low cost because they're trying to push volumes. So as a result, you've got so many malls, people selling all kinds of wares. So you've got tech, you've got clothes, you got anything you can think of. So that's the other thing that you're gonna get used to, shopping around in malls and having people ask you if you want to get a haircut on the way there. Or if
and let me tell you, he's putting it very nicely. They're like, hey, to get that, to get him that, to get him that. Even if you look, like, even if you're bald, they're like, hey, to get him that. If you're not plaited, even if you're plaited, they're like, hey, to get him so that's kind of, to you don't like that kind of scene, just avoid town. Because we took my little sister to town, and she's like, don't ever bring me back here again. I never want to come back to Zimbabwe again. We're like, hey, sorry.
So yeah, you've gotten very nice developments like Eastgate Market. You're gonna find a lot of these things. It's a very nice experience, to be honest.
But that's exactly where Chloe said, don't bring me back here again.
Chloe.
Yeah.
I mean, I like shopping those places because one, there's some kind of uniformity in prices because a lot of people competing, selling the same thing. So you won't
But also,
find
like on your way to Eastgate Market, there's like so much going on.
It just depends on which side you're coming from.
No, but like, baby, there's so many things going on around Eastgate Market.
You'll be using the flyover bridge. You'll be fine.
Even if you're coming from Mikos, like crossing over from Mikos itself to like Eastgate Market.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot. Emotionally also.
Giant.
Like people call you names, people just like honestly, there's just so much that goes on. So you need to be mentally prepared for these things because if you're used to like shopping
it's a hassle.
You enjoy taking selfies, more selfies in H&M and Zara. Here, it's not there. And the worst thing, if you're coming home to stay, especially if you're coming home to stay, I'd highly advise you to get clothes from wherever you're coming from for at least a year and a half. Like clothes that you know, okay, I'm going to wear these clothes for at least a year because to be honest, shopping here is not fun. And it's not as glamorous as it is out there.
How do you stock for a year? Do you stock with the expectation that you're gonna grow a few sizes up?
Yeah, I think so.
Lose?
I think honestly, if you're into dresses, I would highly recommend getting wrap over dresses, like not like wrap around dresses. Those typically tend to be very versatile in size. So get stuff that stretches. If you're getting jeans, get jeans like really good quality jeans that stretch and have like a really good texture because shopping in ZIM is just crazy. There's even the sales aren't sales. And the places that I saw a shop recently, they said they sell designer. What were they selling? Stradivarius jeans and Zara tops. I'm like, in which world is Zara and Stradivarius clothing designer? But that's the thing, because over here we don't have Zara, we don't have H&M, we don't have Stradivarius.
Bro. I just sit in Jason one.
Guys,
I think I have a picture back somewhere. I hope I'll be able to pull up that.
So
Zara here.
Okay, we actually don't, guys. Don't listen to this guy. So now those things, those brands that are mid-end or like low-end, typically tend to be sold off as high-end in ZIM. So an H&M dress you typically buy for like $10. Over here now it's sold for $45. You think,
it's H&M.
You know, jeans that you buy from Stradivarius and they're on sale and you get them for $20 or less. Here now they're being sold for double the price or even like triple the price. So it's very hard to shop for.
In ZIM you always have to make at least 70% profit.
Yeah, so if you're coming to stay, they need to carry you need to buy clothes that will take you through a year.
And while we are going through all of this, it's really important to have backup money somewhere. Because anything can go sideways, and you know, you always ignore Hopwell and all the things he tells you until you find yourself at a party with a dislocated shoulder or dislocated ankle because you
party's too hard,
or maybe you missed a step in the dark, you know.
So if you're coming to stay, you need to get medical insurance. You need to get, we call it medical aid here. You probably know it as medical insurance or as health cover. You need to get that as soon as you get to ZIM. Make sure you hook yourself up with that. And make sure you pay, like, I don't know which company you're gonna go to and register that with, but if you, let's say, arrive in ZIM today, please ensure by like next week or the week after you have medical cover running, and make sure you pay for like 3 months in advance.
And get the USD package.
Get the USD package, yes. So paying for 3 months allows you to enjoy the health benefits you probably would enjoy, the consultation, yada yada yada, in 3 months, but before 3 months, because you've essentially paid out the waiting period. So we use Alliance Health Cover. It's pretty good. The USD package is good. It has different packages and they typically work throughout almost everything. Let us know if you guys want a video on like medical aid, stuff like that and stuff, yada yada yada. But if you're staying, you need to make sure you get that as soon as possible, because what you typically then find is that you have to wait out a lot of months before something is valid, was activated. Like before you unlock, let's say, dental benefits, before you unlock, if you're looking to get pregnant, maternity benefits. All those things are things that they make you wait. If you're doing maternity, they make you wait for a year. If you're doing dental, they make you wait for 6 months or 9 months. If you're doing orthodontic, like stuff like that. All these things have waiting periods. Women wellness, like men's clinics and stuff like that. All these things have typical waiting periods which go beyond 6 months. So the sooner you get medical cover, the better for you. If you're coming to visit, however, sadly you can't have medical aid unless you've had it and you've been paying for it this whole time. If you're coming to visit, make sure you have an emergency fund for anything related to your health.
Yeah.
If you get to someone's house and then you drink water and then it makes you sick and then you've got diarrhea. What you know?
Why are you dancing, bro?
The diarrhea song, you don't know it?
No.
Guys, let me know if you know the comment section. If you know the diarrhea song, let me know in the comment section. That was just, it's a funny song.
What did I make, bro?
Diarrhea, woo, diarrhea, woo, diarrhea, diarrhea. Anyway, you go to someone's house, you drink water or you eat something or you get food poisoning and then you get sick. You need to go to the doctor. In Zimbabwe, medical aid, well, no, you're visiting. So in Zimbabwe, when you get to the doctors, the lowest consultation fee you will pay is $20. The highest you probably pay if you're going to an emergency room off peak is $80.
$80.
It's $80, yeah. So off peak, generally the fee like doubles if you're going to an emergency room. If you're just going to a doctor, consultation is between $20 and $50, or $20 and $60, depending on where you're going for medical attention. But this is all because if you go to the public hospital, there's nothing. Like,
you
will realize how much Ngono was not lying. Like he was telling you the truth, and you were just ignoring his
clothes. I
clothes.
the whole Parinyata situation, except that it's illegal.
They don't allow you to use cameras.
You'll be arrested. You'll be arrested big time.
So like you need to make sure you have at least, if you're an adult, you need to have at least $150 in your emergency fund for health. If you're traveling with a child,
150 what?
Dollars.
Nah,
I said at least.
Nah.
I said at least.
Do it like
because that's for simple things. That's assuming you don't get sick with something drastic.
Yeah.
However, if you're traveling with a child, or you're traveling with 2 children, or you're traveling with a spouse and a child, or just a spouse, you need maybe $400, $500, $1,000. I'm labeling basic amounts, like the least you can have.
Yeah.
Because what's the chance? What's the odd? What are the odds rather of all of you getting sick at the same time?
Hi, you can all drink water and you start.
So again, back to number 1: don't drink water if you don't know if it's safe to drink or not. If they tell you it's not safe to drink, or simply simply ask, is the city council water? Or if they say how did you
Stay away from that as well.
To be honest, Chiborani is a borehole, no?
Oh, we have cholera outbreaks because of
those. So honestly speaking, just be safe. Just be safe. Be safe. Do everything you can. If you're gonna go out partying with your friends, make sure you don't overdo it. Because if you overdo it and then you get sick and you have no money, you will see that your eyeliner and your eyeshadow can't pay the medical bills. You understand? It's not personal because I've never been in that. But if you think just being pretty is enough, let me tell you, the people you're going to be going out with and having a good time, at the moment you get sick, no one's going to be covering your medical bills. It's going to be you and you alone. So, take advice.
Yeah.
You need to have an emergency fund if you're coming to visit. Yeah.
If you're coming back to pitch up here and move back to ZIM, it's a whole different ballgame. So, if you're coming back home to work here, your expectations, you probably have done your research and you know the money isn't as good or as high as from where you're coming from. Sadly, the cost of living is opposing all of that, because typically where you're paid $1,000 outside ZIM, here you're getting paid $200 for it, and you try and find what can you land with $200, for example.
And it's hard to find.
It's just hard to find, and yeah, it's a lot of work. So the whole rental situation, I think we did a video, so I think you guys can check it out here or there. Yeah, you can have a little look at how things are on the ground, but there's definitely a lot of work to be done in terms of your research about moving back home, because properties, it's a whole different ball game here, you know. There's just so much, there's just too many complicated things that make the whole rental situation very, very tricky. So yeah, that's just something to bear in mind. Be ready for that shock. Rentals here might seem low, but compared to a first world country, but also the money that people make here and the cost of living, it just don't match up. So yeah, that's something to bear in mind.
Yeah, and if you're considering coming back home to start up your own thing, I just want you to know that it won't happen overnight. One, because even the way we're used to networking out of ZIM is not the way people network here, and you will find that like people you left are probably already in like they seem or they are in a bit more established positions, like in corporate, and so you might find that networking with people is done very differently. I haven't mastered networking in ZIM because you know out there you can use LinkedIn. Here, nobody uses LinkedIn. LinkedIn
for what?
What is that? We don't have internet.
It's a job site.
So you need to like really find someone who could help you learn the ropes when it comes to networking in ZIM and how best to do it if you're coming back home to start up your own restaurant and stuff. Don't just like take time, don't just dive into like starting something of your own. Do research and really see what works here and what doesn't, because chances are you've seen it work wherever you're coming from. But here, it won't work. Like in ZIM, the rules are different. In fact, in ZIM, there's no rules. People don't play by the rules because there's no rules. Like people just do whatever they're doing here. So if you're gonna come back home and you're hoping to apply the knowledge you've learned outside, of course it will be applicable, but then it won't be like tailor applicable. You will need to do a lot of research because there's just so much to consider. There's just so much to consider and work through.
And
I'm
be
not
safe, guys.
discouraging you from coming home. I think coming back home is probably been the best thing I probably, in some regards, it's one of the best decisions I made. Really, in some regards, it's just a decision I wish I could just go back and change. However, I'll tell you one thing: you're closer to family, you're closer to friends, and your mental health will definitely benefit from all of that. So, if you're really contemplating coming back home because you feel there's no social support where you currently are, please, by all means, come back home. This video might make it seem like it's so bad in ZIM, but to be honest, it's not that bad.
It's good.
Yeah, like. Okay, I wouldn't say it's good. It's not the one, but you can manage. You'll be fine. I mean,
it won't kill you.
Yeah, like
it will make you stronger.
Doesn't kill you, just
your last story is still a good kid. You survived Zimbabwe, you know. That'll be something to tell.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you learned something from the video. Yeah. Please add in the comments more things. Yes, please. If you're in ZIM and you know something really useful that we didn't mention, please add it in the comments section. Yeah, we'd love to hear that. Yeah. And also questions from people outside, you know. If you have a question that you might want to like get clarity on, please feel free to just leave it in the comment section. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye. Also, shout out to Chloe. Hey, Chloe.